Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. I think I just made the nicest self-cocking pistol crossbow ever. So let me show you its features, because this is so cool. I could do this all day long and see how easy I can cock this. Very, very easy. Bang! One more shot in the magazine. But before I'll show you all the features, let's talk a little bit about pistol crossbows in general. I've always been fascinated by them because they're like compact and yet they can be very powerful. Now, this is the most simple construction and the most lightweight construction you can possibly imagine. It's powered by rubber, of course, but it could be powered by anything else. Just, for example, normal crossbow limbs or something. And this one only has 3 shots in the magazine, so it's very slim. And it doesn't have any kind of lever or so. So if you want to cock it, what you have to do is you have to do this manually. So this means you could draw this back until it snaps in place. And now it's a little uncomfortable because you have to kind of get your fingers out of the way of the bands, which isn't nice. So this isn't easy to cock, and yet it's, of course, now it's lightweight and slim and reasonably powerful. Bing. Yeah, and of course it is still magazine equipped. Okay, but this is not self-cocking. This is manually cocking. So 3 years ago I made this one. It's my Furious Firefly. See, it's even marked 2018, which is also magazine powered, but the magazine actually is fed from below, as you see, shooting very short bolts. It's a compact pistol and I think it's kind of nice, beautiful. This one has a cocking device here, like this one. So if you want to cock it, you simply push it back, like so, and then you push it back to the front, and then you can shoot. And you can, of course, repeat this pretty much as often as you want to. Now, it's not bad, but this is not self-cocking. This is not a lever effect. This means you still have to overcome the entire draw force of the rubber or conventional throwing arms if you use those. So this still is not a self-cocking pistol, I think. The most successful self-cocking pistol crossbow is probably the Stinger. As you see, you have a 6-shot magazine fed from the top. You can actually mount an aiming device here, and you have this lever that allows you to just simply use this lever effect here to cock the crossbow, like so. Fairly powerful. And the lever effect, of course, is quite acceptable. You see, this is about the stretch that you need to overcome to cock it, the so-called power stroke. And you see that if you use it at the end of this lever here, you actually have a fairly decent lever effect. I would say probably 2 to 1. So it's not bad. Fun little pistol. The best self-cocking lever effect on the market, I think, you can find with the RX Adder. Also a magazine version, in this case it's the 7-shot magazine. And as you see, it has this swing arm that really swings out far. And this gives you the lever effect that you want, because it makes it possible for me to very easily overcome the 130-pound bow limb set here. And of course it is mighty powerful. Much more powerful than anything else. And of course it's repeating, so you can do this as often as you want to. But it is big. It's not really a pistol crossbow anymore. I mean, you can remove like the rear stock and the front handle and everything and shorten it down a little bit, but it's still kind of big, simply because it's a powerful crossbow. It's like an in-between between a rifle and a pistol. So I decided to use the same cocking lever principle as used in the RX Adder to design a pistol crossbow. And right now it's of course made from wood. This means there's a limit in how strong I can make it. But of course, if I would make a model out of metal, it could be super strong and actually be as strong as the other pistol crossbows on the market. This one actually is based on shortened bolts. So this is a typical bolt that it shoots. And I made those from the full-size bolts for the Stinger. Simply cut out about 2 inches. And I actually could make them longer again. It's just that the limit of the draw length actually is pretty much defined by the total length of the pistol. Therefore, in order to keep the pistol compact, I decided to go for a shorter bolt. This magazine currently holds 4 bolts, so 3 of them are already in. Simply slip in number 4 and the spring presses down on them. And now if you see, the pistol actually has a lot of moving parts, many more moving parts than usual for my weapons. First thing is that if I detach this thing here from the bottom of it, as you see there's a hook that engages, so this opens it. I can swing open the lever, and as you see, the lever pushes the entire magazine with the lock and the trigger, all of it, to the front until it catches the string, like here. And now, of course, if I move the lever backwards, it will start to cock the weapon. But of course, I could also just simply press on the trigger here and then have it snapping shut, like so. And then, of course, the string would push out the bolt to the front. So very easy, lightweight and an easy-going mechanism. The lever effect is quite huge. See, I can really use my pinky to cock it very, very easily. So this could actually be made a lot more powerful, but I don't really think it's necessary. It's fun the way it is. Think. So much fun to shoot it. And of course, the shape of the lever could be different. If this would be metal, it could all be made a lot smaller. But it's so functional, it's just like a joy to shoot it. Is it powerful? Not really. I mean, with this much rubber, it is not very powerful. The question is it suitable for home defense? Well, for that, I think we will have to use other bolts that are veritable game changers. Because these bolts are actually like training bolts, but just also from bolts that are originally meant for the Stinger, there are hunting broadheads. And actually, there's a video of someone who actually hunts wild hogs with the Stinger, even without the tuning limbs, just with the standard limb set, and he's just using them and successfully killing 2 pigs with it. So these are razor sharp, and they actually changed the game, because these are so sharp. Actually, I just poked my finger in here and it started to bleed all over my weapon. So these are so sharp that if you just as much as touch them, you will start to bleed. It doesn't take a lot of force to really hurt your opponent with a projectile like this. Okay, 2 of them are now loaded in. Cocking the weapon works just as normal, very, very, very easy. And they also shoot just as normal. All right. In order to find out if this would actually be able to seriously injure an attacker, we're using raw pork that I intend to eat after I've cleaned it afterwards. And in order to simulate skin, we take this furniture grade leather, which is really probably a lot thicker and a lot more sturdy than real skin. And we're using a little bit of cotton cloth to simulate a t-shirt. And we'll wrap all this in like clear film, and then we'll shoot at it and see what happens. So this is the whole package. As you can see, we have the meat, we have the leather, and we have the t-shirt material. And it's a nice package. We're going to shoot at it from about 3 meters distance, not untypical for home defense. All right, here we go. So easy. Right, I hit it a little bit right. And this was hit right on. Let's compare to the effect of the normal practice bolts. Not bad either. Okay, so as you can clearly see, the blue bolts really didn't perforate it as good as the other ones. They're just barely in. But look what happened with the razor sharp bolts. So this actually cut through the leather and into the meat of the skin of the pig. Pretty decent. Okay, you can see the cuts here. Let's see if we can see the cuts. Oh yes, pretty prominent cuts in the leather. And look at what happened to the meat. Now you tell me that that wouldn't be effective against an opponent who attacks you through his t-shirt, through thick skin. Yeah. Amazing how little power you need to hurt someone with sharp broadheads like those. So what does this mean? Is this the future of pistol crossbows? Well, maybe. I think that a model that actually would be made from steel and so on would be fairly successful. This one is just a nice novelty and a wonderful little toy. But I love it, and I hope you do too, because except if you want to also watch the Q&A part, that's it for today. Thanks and bye bye. Bang. That's so much fun. Bang. Alright, the Q&A part. Sorry for the echo, but it's raining again outside. Well, today is Sunday, the 58th of April. Yeah, weather is quite funny. Anyway. Okay, so question and answers. First question that I will get tons of it, I know it. Can you send me the blueprints? No, why not? Because there aren't any blueprints. See, the way how I work, I never learned engineering. I'm actually been working in an office all my life as a businessman and manager. So I just simply start sawing parts out, assembling them. Sometimes I make little help devices to make me understand the geometry, but there's never any sketches or so on, and certainly no blueprints. And I'm actually not even talented enough to turn this into a set of blueprints. So sorry, there aren't any blueprints. If you want to make one, you have to start same way I always start, just by making parts. Alright, the second question. Why not replacing the rubber bands with steel springs? Because if rubber is strong, steel must be so much stronger. No, of course not. I mean, seriously. If springs would be better than rubber, don't you think this channel would be called the Slingshot channel and not the Slingshot channel? Rubber is a fascinating material. A steel spring can probably extend like twice its original length, and that's it. Whereas rubber can easily stretch to factor 5, even to factor 7. So we would have to make this really, really, really long if we wanted to use springs, and even then springs are fairly inefficient. Actually, steel springs haven't been used for crossbows since the medieval times because modern material like fiberglass is so much better than steel. So forget it. Steel sounds strong, but as in terms of a spring, it is not. It is actually quite useless. Next question, can it also shoot longer bolts? Well, as you see, in retrospective, I could have made the shooting part longer, extending all the way to here. Therefore, there is room for the longer bolts. But as you see, the shorter bolts are actually no problem. And actually, I think they add a little bit of a sexiness to the design. Otherwise, it would be a little bit more bulky. But in theory, I could do this because I need the length for the lever effect anyway. Next question is, how much does the lever actually help? Well, the power stroke of this thing is about 10.5 centimeters, so a little over 4 inches. Whereas this here actually swings out really, really far. So this is about 5 times a lever effect. Means that if that would be 100 pounds, I would actually only have to overcome 20 pounds. This isn't 100 pounds. And therefore it is so super easy to cock this thing. And next question, can you also decock it? Sure. There you go. And as I said, if you want to release the tension, simply press on this here and then you can take out the bolt, feed it back into the magazine, and you're in business again. Very simple procedure. Like so. Next question, can you shoot the action really slow? Yes, I can show it to you really slowly. So again, I press this lever, swing it out like so until this is engaged. Then I close it again, like so. and then I can shoot. Like so. Slow enough? Okay, the sun is out again, so we have some more room for answering questions. Then, now the shape of this lever here, could it not also be made differently? Yes, actually, I think if I would do it again, I would probably let it curve upwards here and then be more straight, so that this would have an even more sexy outline. Also, of course, these screws are kind of big. They could be a lot slimmer. That would actually add to the sexiness of the design. So if I would have to make it again, I definitely change a few things, but I'm happy the way it is because it came out wonderful and functionality is superb. I love it. I could do it all day long. So cool. Next question, can you send me the STL files for a 3D printer? No, because I don't have one and I'm actually too stupid to use the CAD software that you need to design a thing like this on a 3D printer. Would it be functional if you would do it? I guess, yeah, you could do it. I mean, certainly there are guys that could do it, that could design it for a 3D printer. On the other hand, I'm as always giving the design into public domain. So if you are a technical designer and you want to make this in 3D, help yourself. Publish it, sell the plans, sell the files. I don't care, good luck.